So, Logi, I have a question for you. Do you
What's that?
think the One Piece live action has broken the anime curse?
Well, let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Everything Anime Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Shinry,
It's Logi.
and today we are talking about the Netflix live action One Piece. Now, I have a few things to say to explain. Our friend Logi here has not watched that much One Piece. He knows about it, but he hasn't seen much about it. So he is a unbiased One Piece fan watching for the first time. Me, however, I'm caught up in One Piece, and I got to tell you guys, if you're not caught up, if you're not at least caught up to Ines Lobby, this is going to confuse you because they've changed everything. So first, I want to hear an unbiased review for the first episode from our friend Logi. So Logi, tell me what you thought about One Piece live action.
Okay, like he said, I'm very unbiased. I probably watched maybe season one of the anime One Piece like when I was a kid, so I barely even remember it. I mean, I know the characters, I've seen them. My favorite character in that show is Zoro. I mean,
Yeah, I love Zoro. He's amazing.
that I know that was my favorite back then, but I never watched it after that. So I'm not a true One Piece fan. So my review is basically just strictly on what I saw. So in a sense, I have a pure opinion about it.
Right, right.
So first, let's say this. Now I have watched not every, but majority of the live action animes that have
Oh
been
yeah, we're,
coming
we're
out.
gonna we're gonna compare other live actions. I just want to get your review of this one first. Like, what did you think about this?
Well, this pod or this One Piece live action, strictly One Piece live action was for someone who doesn't watch One Piece, and I like pirates. I've enjoyed all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and so that alone was a good help. So it was interesting how they can incorporate the One Piece anime world into One
Like a
Piece. And
live action pirate. Yeah. All right.
yeah,
So I want to start out with I'll help you out here a little bit. What do you think about the animation? Like as far as
that's
like
what I was
Luffy
about to get
stretching.
into. Yeah, I would say as far as animation, I think they did good. Now it'd be interesting to see. We only saw episode one. This is episode one of the series, so just to get an opener, I would say the animations are pretty on point, pretty
Yeah.
good. I would say Luffy's stretching ability. You don't really notice CGI or anything like that. I mean, it's not real, but they make it look so smooth with his gum gum pistol and his gum gum whip and him
Look
doing
at you. You
his
know the names of his attacks. Okay. Yeah,
yeah
it
doing
looks good
his mouth
because
thing.
go ahead.
Yeah, with his mouth thing, they where he stretches it, you don't really notice that.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all
it's
a
like
joke from the
cheap
show.
anime.
He does that in the show too, where he stretches him out and says, "I'm a rubber man." I like that they took a lot of inspiration from the show. I'm gonna start giving some examples as like a pure One Piece fan. So I love that you know the attacks, like remembered his attack names. But the reason why I was worried about the stretching is I was worried it was gonna be like the Fantastic Four, like Mr. Fantastic, like how weird it looked when he stretched. But they made it look kind of natural. For like you said, like for CGI, I know in the CGI, it looked really good. Um, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
speak on some characters a little bit. You're not gonna know these characters, but when you want to comment, go ahead
Well,
and throw in some
okay,
things.
I
Go
would
ahead.
say let's just do each animation, like for like let's talk about each animation for the characters because I remember
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
these characters
that's
from
what I'm about to
early
go down.
beginning, so I can have a good idea on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to go down to. So you're not gonna know first couple of these characters, but once I get to like a character, we can both comment on it. So in the opening, uh, One Piece fans will recognize that Dragon was in the green hoodie in the crowd, which is Luffy's dad, Dragon. Shanks was there. You might have recognized him in the crowd. They're like split second things. Mihawk was in the crowd, and Smoker as a kid was in the crowd. I thought they looked good. Um, Gorp, Luffy's grandfather, looked okay, and Roger. What's your opinion on Goldie Roger, the pirate that played Goldie
Hey,
Roger?
I
What's your
don't
opinion on him?
like. I'm gonna be honest about this. I've seen Goldie Roger in One Piece. Like I've seen
Yeah,
like
he's
his.
iconic. He's iconic.
Yeah, he's like in this. How they portray him is I don't like it. I'm not a One Piece fan, so I don't. I feel like I don't have a right to say that because I
No,
feel
it's
like,
fine. It's fine.
in a sense, like I feel like he just does not look like a menacing. He was king of the pirates.
Yeah,
You know,
he didn't look that way to me either.
yeah, he just looks like very not influential, if that makes sense. Like I don't, he doesn't intimidate me or anything. So I feel like some of the actors, no offense to the actors, but I
Just keep
feel
it
like
on Roger for a second.
yeah, Goldie Rogers didn't. It didn't fit the bill for me, and
Okay,
I can't.
I'm gonna.
I feel like I don't have a right. I mean, disclaimer: I don't have a right. I'm not a One Piece fan. I've never watched One Piece like that, so I can't
It's fine.
really
That's
say
why I
that.
said you have the unbiased review for this because they've already changed a lot of things. If you're not caught up in One Piece, so I do recommend to watch it in his lobby before you watch the live action. I do recommend that for non One Piece watchers. But before we go into any other characters, I want to talk about Goldie Roger real quick. So one of the things I didn't like was how he looked. I don't think he had the pure Goldie Roger look. Also, they ruined his iconic speech. Roger's speech was, "You want my treasure, you can have it. I left everything I own together in one place. Now you just have to find it." That
I,
iconic line, I
I'm.
feel like they try to change it too much.
I don't even watch One Piece, and I know that. I know that line. Like
Well, go
every
ahead.
time when the cartoon started, that's what you would hear.
Yeah, and then but I do like that they got one thing from the anime accurate. Someone randomly shouts out, "Tell us where you left your treasure." I love that. I love that a lot.
Yeah.
So now
I'm,
we're gonna transition into Luffy, like talking about Luffy for a little bit.
and
I
I'm
think
sorry, I said cartoon. It's not a cartoon. I'm sorry. I
I
didn't
know
mean to
that's
say
fine.
cartoon.
Yeah, anime. Don't worry about that, man. I got
Yeah.
one petty thing to say about Luffy. I don't like the pants. I think Luffy wears shorts, or at least if they are pants in the anime, they look like shorts. I think the pants look kind of weird, but I could definitely tell the actor playing Luffy was having a lot of fun. What did you think about Luffy?
Okay, I think, and this is again unbiased. I think Luffy himself as that character is just fine. I don't think there's nothing wrong. The only thing I do remember about Luffy is his voice. I know it's not the same person because it's a
Oh
voice
yeah,
actor
yeah,
like
definitely not.
that.
Colleen's a voice actor. She does an amazing job.
Yeah, so I feel like me watching it, the character who plays that pirate is he right now he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's having a lot of fun. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Before we keep moving on, I want to say it's clever that they showed how Luffy ended up in the barrel in the because in the anime we just open up with like these pirates on Alvida's ship finding the barrel. Luffy jumps out, scares Kobe, and knocks out the other two pirates. I thought it was clever that they like show us how Luffy got into the barrel or why he was in the barrel. And he also said something funny to the bird where he's talking to the bird about being his crewmate, and the bird leaves and he's like mutiny. I thought that was really funny.
yeah, that was a good scene too. Which I like I said I don't remember any of One Piece when I watched it, so I don't remember that. But seeing him like go onto that ship and basically reveal himself, which I think Kobe is a special person. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
Kobe is a major character. Although
Yeah.
his actor looks very strange. Not just one, the pink hair looks strange in live action, but two, I just didn't like his character how the character looked. I ain't gonna lie, I can't defend Kobe. I did not like how Kobe looked at all.
So can I do the next character?
Sure. Go ahead. Which one are you bringing up?
All right, so I'm gonna bring up the scene with Zoro. Okay. At
Okay.
first, I know Zoro's look. That's one of my favorite characters on One Piece, as far as I remember. And I think that the way they portray Zoro, I mean, it's not exactly Zoro, but I think they did a really good job with him.
No, I agree. I found Zoro kind of charming. I love. Okay, so I'm gonna go out and order my notes because I'm reviewing this with my best friend Logi. I think the twist they did with like Baroque works. So you won't know this because Baroque works don't actually show up until like way later in the story, like towards Alabasta. But I thought it was clever how the Baroque works tried to recruit Zoro because he's a pirate hunter, and that this is one thing from the trailer I did like speculate. So in the trailer, when Zoro swings his sword at somebody's leg, it never makes connection, and that person just fell. But in this, the fight choreography between Zoro and Mr. Seven was pretty fucking fire. Like the Zord fighting, all of that.
Yeah,
And I
and then
love
him whipping
right.
whipping the sword and putting out all the flames. That was
Oh,
cool.
dude, that was dope. That was very cool scene. And I love also that the moment he puts the third Zord in his mouth, the whole joke that Luffy has about why he has three Zords, he's like, well, where does the third one go? And then he puts it in his mouth. He's like, oh, that makes sense. Like, no, it
Yeah,
doesn't, but it's
oh,
hilarious that
that's
Luffy
where
said
it
that.
goes.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I know in the anime he always carried the sword in his mouth, so I was
Mm-hmm.
wondering how that would look in live action, and they did
Damn,
good.
I was
They did a
curious
good
too.
job.
And
Now,
he
if
looks
I want to
he
ask you because
also
I don't really remember, but did he have like power? Did Zoro have
no,
powers?
Zoro's a human. He's just a really strong swordsman. There, all right. So some of there are human characters that have no powers on the Straw Hats. That's uh, Usopp, Nami, Zoro, Sanji, and Frankie. Now they are
Okay,
exceptional humans. Like they have like beyond human capabilities, but they are technically just human.
okay, yeah, because I remember and correct me if I'm wrong. I remember Zoro having like some special like move or something.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember.
He has so like I said, he's a powerful swordsman. Like we all know in anime worlds, like all the characters have like, supernatural ability or not supernatural, just stronger abilities. Zoro can do crazy things with his Zorzen body, like cut mountains, cut steel, cut cut a meteorite, but like we're not there yet. We're not there. This is pre Zoro, so he's just a really strong swordsman.
Okay, okay, yeah, cool.
So anything else on Zoro before I move on?
And another scene that I thought was really cool with him is him launching off of Luffy and them working together. That was a good
Oh
scene
yeah,
too.
yes,
Where he
that
came
was.
out, he said, "I go high, you go low." That was a good fight scene. I feel
Oh
like.
yeah, it was also iconic. I forget to mention when he used his third Zord that he pulled out his bandana because Zoro doesn't do that anymore. But yeah, that used to be iconic. Anytime Zoro put that bandana on, we knew it was about to get serious. So
Yeah,
I guess
so
we'll just go ahead and jump to
he
the
was
third
really
straw
good.
hat. Let's talk about Nami. Do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
You can go ahead on Nami. That's fine.
I almost had a problem with Nami, and it's not even that I didn't like how she looked. It was like it was more like I just didn't know how I'd feel. But once I started seeing her humor with Luffy, like how like she's like pretending to be Marine and Luffy's like, I heard everything, you can't trick me. I thought that I liked their dynamic. I thought they were really funny. Oh, I love that she also has her bow staff. I thought that was really iconic that they kept that in there too. And she has big boobs because I know that's like a lot of things that people know with Nami. They love her big boobs. Anything on Nami from you?
Well, see, I don't really remember Nami from One Piece, so this is strictly just what her character is on live action.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a good character. I feel like she would fit in with the crew. I mean, she's a
Oh yeah.
thief, so it only makes sense. She's like,
Well,
you need to
she's
sneak.
actually a navigator. They don't explain that yet in this episode, but she's a navigator of the crew. Zoro's the first
Okay,
mate,
yeah,
Luffy's the captain, and Nami's the navigator. Yep, that's why she has those maps. But that's okay because, like you said, you're unbiased. You don't know anything about One Piece, where I can tell you that kind of stuff. That's why she had the maps and was at like all that. She's the navigator.
yeah. So I feel like her character. It's fine. Yeah, I like Nami. She's a
Okay.
cool character.
Okay. I'm gonna talk about two of the antagonists. First is Alvida, then I'm gonna talk about Axe Hand Morgan. Alvida is somewhat accurate. I like that they had a big woman do it. No, she wasn't huge, but she was big. And I like that they kept her mace weapon and that like she's basically what you're saying, like the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like I love that they showed that. Like that might have been the gore you were talking about earlier when we talked about it before the call. That might have been the gore you were talking about. Cause yeah, Alvida, she's ruthless as a regular pirate because Alvida has no powers yet. But yeah, as a regular pirate, yeah, Alvida, she was intimidating. I got to give her that. And the design of her ship looked good. Do you have any thoughts on Alvida, like being a non-fan but fan of this live action?
Yeah, Alvida, the first one they fought, I it was I liked the character. Like the character was fine. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the fight was too quick, but I mean it's just opening up.
Oh
You
no,
can't
that's
have
how
a strong.
he takes her out the same way in the anime. He takes her out like one hit the same way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So shit, like it was a good start out villain, I guess. Um.
Okay.
So yeah, that's really the only thought on Alvida for me.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, before we get to Axe Morgan, I want to talk about Shanks. Shanks does not look accurate. And I don't just mean like accurate to his character. He doesn't even look intimidating as Shanks. I do not like how Shanks look. Now, Shanks, if you don't remember him, Justin, he's the one with the three claws on his eye and the red hair.
Yeah, and doesn't he have like long red hair or something?
Sort of, kinda. But do you have any thoughts on him at all? I mean, I know he didn't do much in that episode, but do you have any thoughts on him?
Shanks. To me, Shanks was like the cool one in the anime,
He
and
was. He was.
I can't really remember his face, and I don't want to pull up Google and you know look at
No,
it
it's fine.
because
Just go
I don't
based
want.
off whatever you remember from the episode. That's fine.
Yeah, that Biggie. I would say Shanks to me looks like the good, honest pirate. You know,
Yeah, he
when
was.
that pirate came in and threw all the glass on the bar, and he didn't do nothing.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
he just
I
seems
like
like a
that you
good
mentioned
pirate.
that. I like that you mentioned that. That's actually a scene from the anime. So talking about that scene really fast, the transition to the second flashback, it opens with Bink Sake, which is from Thriller Bark when we got introduced to Brooke. Bink Sake is the song that all pirates sing, and it's just played as like a instrumental, but I liked it a lot. But you're right about that banter. So when the bandits came in, they're not pirates, they're bandits. And Shanks was like, "Oh, we're sorry, we drank all the booze. Here's this bottle," and he breaks it. It's because they're trying to show a difference between like how Shanks and his crew are like they're pirates. You're not gonna see it probably till episode 2, but they're pirates, but they're like more relaxed and they're calm because they are so strong that like they're not intimidated by weaklings. So like they just laughed it off. And I love that you noticed that banter about them. I love that. That means a lot to me.
Now, also a
Although,
question for you about Shanks.
go
Is
ahead.
he does he manipulate flame? Is that the character?
No. That's Luffy's brother Ace. Shanks.
Oh,
We don't
okay.
know. I don't think Shanks has a devil fruit, but he's another really powerful swordsman. Oh, I also forgot to mention. Well, this is why we're in the same flashback. We also see how Luffy got his devil fruit. What did you think about that scene? Because I have my own thoughts.
Uh, I don't know how he got his devil fruit in the anime, but I mean the scene was fine. I mean he saw fruit in the basket after Shanks basically told him you're not ready, and then he ate the fruit, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when the bandits came, and so yeah, I feel like that was a good scene. I don't really know what the devil fruit looks like in the anime either, so I can't speak upon that, but it just looked like a normal fruit to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna give my opinion. So in the anime, Luffy and Shanks are actually sitting next to each other, and it's unclear if Shanks left the devil fruit in front of Luffy on purpose. That's a theory people have. But Luffy does eat the devil fruit, and then Shanks is like, "Why did you eat that devil fruit?" And that's when Luffy does his stretching thing. But one thing that's created because they have changed things in this live action, when Luffy tries to walk away and Shanks holds his arm, that's how Shanks figures out that Luffy ate the devil fruit. So I got to give him cleverness for that. Even though I don't like how Luffy stumbled upon the devil fruit in the live action, I prefer the anime where like we don't know if Shanks put it in front of Luffy on purpose or not. I prefer that. Um, before we move on, I want to talk about some random wanted posters we saw. Bellamy looks terrible. I like that the Foxy Pirates are teased because he's a joke character. You won't know who he is. And I want to mention that Buggy the Clown looks good as well. Do you have any thoughts on Buggy the Clown? Do you want to throw out your Buggy the Clown theory, by the way, for the
Okay, yeah.
audience?
Shout out to Buggy the Clown. He's always been a
Yeah,
staple in the
shout
One
out to
Piece.
Emperor Buggy. Shout
He
out to
was
him.
the one who sat on the throne.
Yeah, Buggy
And
the Clown sat on the throne. Buggy the Clown is Emu. He was the eye in the sky, right?
yeah, he was the eye in the sky, the one that got Sabo.
That's a joke, everybody. That's a joke. Justin's not caught up, but I tell him everything about One Piece, and I told him about how Buggy the Clown became relevant and became an emperor, and it's just a joke we have.
It
So
only makes
don't
sense.
take that seriously.
He was with Goldie Rogers' group.
Yep, yep.
It
I
only
also
makes sense.
love the shonen joke about anime characters love to eating food because Luffy constantly brings up food in this episode, and he does that a lot because that's Luffy's thing. I love that. We can start talking about Axe Captain Axe Hand Morgan, and his son. So I forgot his name's son. I think it's Helmeppo, but it's Kobe's friend that later joins Gorp. I liked his actor and his design because he fits the character perfectly. But I didn't expect that nudity scene that randomly happened. It caught me off guard. I didn't mind it, but it just caught me off guard. What did you think about his son? Not Axan Morgan, but like the son with the blonde hair and all that. What do you think about him?
Oh, well, I'd like to go back to Buggy the Clown first,
Oh,
and
okay,
then
go
I'll,
ahead.
you know, Buggy the Clown. It'll be interesting to see because we only saw that snippet of him sitting in the chair and saying he'll kill anyone to get the map. Um, but it'd be interesting to see how Buggy the Clown, how they animate his power. I know he
Like
goes in
chop fruit.
pieces.
Yep,
Yeah,
he
I
can.
know. I know he goes in pieces, so it'd be interesting how they do that. I want to see that.
True. That's definitely gonna be episode 2. That's definitely gonna be episode 2. Okay, I got a few more notes I'm gonna go through. So Axe Hand Morgan, he's the Marine captain with the axe
Yeah, with
hand.
the axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about him? What do you think about him and his design? Because I was actually kind of worried that it would look kind of weird, but it looked actually pretty good.
Again, I don't know how they did it in the anime, so I can't compare
Oh,
these two.
exactly like that. Exactly like that.
I would say, like, usually if a live action, they're trying to go over the top, that it makes it look bad. So I would say, person with the axe as a hand, they kept it. It looks. I know it's not normal, but it looks.
Okay. Yeah, Axel Morgan looked good. And they kept the iconic scene where Zoro's caught up for 7 days. But one thing that was also different is that Luffy, Zoro, and Nami and Kobe were all in the same room to see how strong Zoro was. Oh yeah, that's where Zoro got his second dope scene where he fought all those pirates at once. That was pretty cool. What did you think about that scene where Zoro was fighting all the pirates and the Marines inside of the inside that little bar? Well, no worries, guys. I'm gonna finish off my notes. I think it's weird that Luffy wears shoes, but I guess it makes sense for live action because it looked weird if Luffy was fighting in sandals. Um, Other things I thought Luffy and Nami's interaction was funny. Like I said earlier, Nami's short little fight scene with her wooden staff was dope, and I love the final scene where Luffy, Nami, and Zoro all fight together against all the Marines. And then as Luffy finishes off the Captain Morgan, he shouts out "Gum Gum Whip" like Justin brought out earlier. And then the jokes that like Zoro says is like, oh no, Luffy says all great fighters call out their finishing moves, and Zoro's like, no, they don't, with a serious tone. I thought it was funny because it like teases the difference between Luffy and Zoro. Do you have better signal now, Justin?
Do I?
Hello? Yeah. What did you think about the
Can you
final
hear
scene
me?
where like Zoro, Nami, and Luffy all fought together against Captain Morgan?
That was a good scene. Like I said earlier, the Gum Gum Whip, the whole I go high, you
Mm-hmm.
go low, and then them working together, and then Zoro putting on his bandana. Uh, it was a good scene.
Yeah, it was. Ending the scene or any towards the end of the show, we can see a Denden Mushi. Now, you probably don't know what a Denden Mushi is, Justin, but it's those snails. They use snails to communicate in the show or the anime, and I like that Gorp's Denden Mushi look like his. I'll send you a picture of what normal other Denden Mushi look like, but a typical Denden Mushi represents like the captain or whoever's speaking. You probably don't have any thoughts on that, do you?
I find it weird to have a snail as a telephone.
Well, it's kind of so in Naruto, you know how they use ninja scrolls, and Demon Slayer they use crows, and in One Piece they use talking snails. It's just like a funny little gag to make it different. Is all.
Yes, yeah, I figured. Just I never, seen snails, talking snails, but I mean I don't have a problem with it. But
And then the last thing I have to say is I think Kobe joining the Marines was. I don't like how they changed that because when Kobe joined the Marines, Luffy actually punches him in front of a bunch of other Marines that think Kobe's a pirate like the Straw Hats. But in here, Kobe knocks out Helmeppo, and he just decides to remain behind. I mean, like I said, they had to change things, but that's all my thoughts on the first episode. But overall, I thought it was great. What's your overall thoughts on it, Justin?
overall, as a non One Piece watcher, I liked it. It was a good episode. Again, I would say, was it good enough to watch another episode? I think in my case, yes.
Okay, that's as a non One Piece watcher too. I totally agree. All right, guys. We're gonna try to get an episode 2 sometime in the next couple of days or so. We're gonna try to do like one episode per one episode per podcast. Just so you guys can keep up with our thoughts and the changes that I'll mention. Because like I said, I'm a One Piece fan, caught up and everything, and Justin's a newcomer, but he's loving it. And so I definitely recommend it to people that have seen One Piece and haven't seen One Piece. But I do want to say, if you want to actually understand One Piece, at least watch up to Ines Lobby. I think that's it for the end of our video. Do you have any closing thoughts, Justin? I mean, Logi, sorry.
No. I would say yes. The curse for live action, I think, has been uplifted. Now it'd be interesting to see more. I think it would be interesting to see more of these episodes, see how it plays out. But overall, not bad CGI, and made everything look smooth. Just continue to keep it up.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.
Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys would be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces the choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado, the Legendary Konjuis Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school because, of course, he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Decays right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys